You're welcome back to the channel, and the name remains Donald, not Trump. Don't forget my name. Don't forget my name. Don't forget my name. If you forget my name, then you get issue. Yo, so something is happening. Something is cooking. Honorable Sam George is in the news for obvious reasons.
I've heard a number. I've seen a number of comments on social media saying that this is not what we voted for you for. You're going after the fraud boys. Leave them alone. You're not creating jobs. But those same people are asking me to get PayPal to monetize. Those same people are asking me to get TikTok to monetize and Meta to monetize. Well, they will blacklist Ghana so long as there's fraud happening in Ghana. The reason why PayPal left Ghana is because of fraud. And so if you have a few people depriving the majority of people who are doing legitimate work on social media, content creators, the reason you can't monetize and get value for your craft is because a few people have chosen to give Ghana a bad name. We will take action. And let this be clear. This action of clamping down on cyber fraud didn't start today. The FBI did not make the request today. Those requests were pending before I became minister. But in the past, people were leaking the information to the targets.
And it's right now it's really getting scary for some people that have decided to actually not follow the legal path, because there's a cartel of young men in Ghana here, sometimes even women, that are taking the illegal path to actually succeed, to find ways to survive. And there's a lot of debate going on about it, whether it's the right thing to do or not. But the Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Innovation has his own opinion about it, because he feels like people are pointing hands on him for more or less giving out his own people to foreign countries to sort of for them to be prosecuted. And he feels like it's a bit unsettling, because he's only doing his job as a minister of state, because he promised Ghanaians that when he comes to office, he will make sure that anybody that is sort of making the image of Ghana or the name Ghana have some bad rap attached to it, they will make sure that they make sure that those people will be arrested and prosecuted the right way. So that's exactly what he's doing. And also he went on to say that when it comes to content creation, like the way I'm doing it, and some people that are into TikTok and those things, you see, when you are creating content and you are being paid for it, it sort of motivates you to do more, and it makes you even more creative and more innovative, right? So Mr. Sam George is actually looking out for ways to actually speak to PayPal and TikTok and the Meta to sort of verify the monetization process in Ghana here. And according to him, reasons why companies like PayPal are no more in Ghana is becoming stressful for him to actually negotiate for them to come back into the country is because of this same fraud guys, or these same guys. And I can't particularly say guys because there might be women that are also involved. So these same people that are into this kind of illegal business. So he doesn't understand why Ghanaians are coming at him when he's only trying to sort of save the situation. Because if he's able to clamp down all these illegal criminals, then at the end of the day, he will have a more fruitful discussion or negotiation with some of these companies in terms of having to sort of come into Ghana to make sure that content creators and the likes are rewarded for their content or for their creatives. Okay. And he also furthermore went on to say that you can't use, if you use the idea, say, job no data system. Ejuma ni ho, ejuma ni ho, ejuma ni ho. So ejuma ni ho, I know interest be a kobokrono. Sana Sam George eka. As I say, if job no data, I know they mean say if I find means to sort of find illegal means to survive. And the last time when he spoke, he actually made it clear that he thinks education is the best way to actually maximize your chances of being successful. So the youth should focus more on going to school and then being educated. Well, that realistically, personally, I don't know about you, it's a bit questionable, because we know the situation in this country when it comes to education, whereby certain even people like the Nessons, we've seen people begging because they've gone to school, they've passed out, and they're not being enrolled in some of these the same courses that they learn to. They are not being enrolled they are not being enrolled in these same different sectors that they are supposed to have been useful for. Okay, so with that, it's actually very, very questionable in a certain sense, because we are all in this country. We know what's going on with graduates and a whole lot. But then again, it doesn't negate the fact that what he's saying is, I mean, there's an element of truth. Me personally, I feel initially I spoke about this whole thing and I was like, look, I think if we will be able to create enough jobs in the system, sort of, and then make the jobs that are already existing a bit lucrative for the young people, I feel it will be more attractive for them to stay on the illegal side of business rather than resorting to maybe illegal means of making it like galamsey and scamming and all those kind of stuff. But that is a long-term project, because with regards to Ghana's unemployment rates, Charlie, again, never able to assume. Yeah, it go keep. Yeah, like it go keep. So, if the minister is, or if they are saying that omo because we have the excuse of ejuma niho for everybody to do what they feel is right for them in the context of what they feel is right for them to get money, then at the end of the day, we should also say that maybe when you see someone that is an armed robber, you should also understand that there's certain justifications of him going into that kind of illegal activity. So he feels like, Charlie, we should focus on the bigger picture of actually redeeming the reputation of Ghana. And well, it's hard to say I agree with him, but I mean he's obviously making a lot of sense. He's making a lot of sense because from a youth perspective in Ghana and the things I've seen, the activities I've seen in workplaces and how some of the youth are not properly treated when it comes to legal businesses and the 9 to 5s, I would have wanted to argue, but I think at this point and with what he said, I believe he's made solid points that Charlie, even if he say they argue, you Nangasan, it go sound some way, because what he said is reasonable. I mean, if we are going to use the excuse of Ejuma Niho to do certain things, Charlie, what you them want to be a befadia boy 3 months for on your MP, because he feels like Ejuma Niho. So it's understandable that the honorable minister is actually coming from that perspective, and sometimes that's why I believe we elect leaders, okay, to make sure that these leaders are able to do, like, they are able to sort of stand on their grounds, to be firm, to sort of make sure that certain things that has to be done, even if most of us don't like it. They look at the long-term effect or the consequences of certain actions, and they try to put in the measures to make sure that they find effective solutions to what is actually happening. And I don't know, most people, this thing has divided people on the internet. Some people believe that it's not particularly right that we have to hand over our citizens to foreigners to actually charge them, extradite them to the US for them to be dealt with in the US, because this is not the first time. So some people also have their reservations with regards to that. And bro, listen, this is very complex, because they also want to actually get these people into their country so that they can actually deal with them legally per how their country's laws prescribe. So they are working hand in hand with the cybersecurity system and the security agencies in Ghana here. That's the FBI, to make sure that some of these things are done properly. And I think it's the right thing. I mean, if we are going to look at the emotional aspect of the life that we live here and how disturbing it can be and how wretched or how messed up our system is, you might end up sounding a certain way trying to defend this whole cause. But at the end of the day, what is right is right. I don't think that, personally, I don't know what you think, but if you are in your country and you are struggling hard or you are working hard and somebody has to be in another country and then they will actually have an excuse of their country not working to extort money from you in an illegal means, like the way maybe our brothers are doing to the white people, I don't think that you particularly be happy, even if it's not you and somebody close to you. Even if Charlie Momo fraud crime. So I think, in as much as I would have loved to sort of argue this thing out with regards to the fact that there is a gap of unemployment, and even the people that are even employed, their salaries, the young people that are not encouraging. And then when they look at the flip side and what some of these illegal guys are doing and the things they are buying, Sounds like if you are not mentally and emotionally strong, you might be swayed to the other side. So I think, in as much as the honorable speaker has actually given a reasonable excuse for what he's doing, I feel the government should also put some measures in place to sort of rectify this situation, because I feel there's a human drive to instinctively survive. Okay, and then even if those areas, the scamming areas, are policed strictly, if care is not taken, I mean, the human spirit will find ways to survive, and then it might be other illegal means. They might be creative illegal means that they might come up with just to live the life that they feel they deserve, if the country or the system is not giving them that opportunity. So a lot is going on, and with regards to our boot tracker issue and the Nigerian over 32 Nigerian people that were arrested, all these issues are all part of the government or the current authorities' quest to actually make sure that we have a sane system. And one more thing that Sam George said, is previously, it's not like this thing is new, or the FBI trying to collaborate with security agencies in Ghana is particularly a new thing. Okay. In the past, they were trying to collaborate with Ghana to actually make sure that some of these people are actually arrested. But there were certain people that they were some form of whistleblowers to some of these same guys. Perhaps they were blowing the whistle to actually get some money from them. That because of how they were actually relating or handling the issue, it was very difficult for the FBI to get their hands on these people, these criminals. So the question is, who were these people and why were they actually doing that? And if that was what they are doing, is it legal? Are we supposed to also just say that, okay, they because maybe they were in certain high places, the government or the law won't be able to deal with that? I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem that most of us have, because it seems the law actually works for certain people. Okay, when people are a certain level of powerful and they are well connected, it seems the laws of the country is very slow in actually putting them to their right place or serving them justice. So I think that's where some people also feel like there's a bit of unfairness when it comes to how these legal systems are actually distributed in this country. But Charlie, what will you do? You just talk. At the end of the day, power is in the hands of who power is given. So you can only talk. There's not much that most of us can do when it comes to these things. We can only hope and pray, and then what else can we do? Yeah, and then try to just add our suggestions and comments and see if it goes far. Other than that, Charlie, we just hope for the best. So that is what is happening with regards to social media updates. The name remains Donald, not Trump. And I'm always grateful for you to do this with me all the time, as always. I'm very grateful for your time and doing this with me all the time. And definitely there's more packed content, more entertaining, more educative content coming up. And you must stay tuned with me. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like if you've not. The name remains Donald, not Trump. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.